Welcome to Lamppost Stock. This is me and my husband were celebrating the Feast of Trumpets, and it had us talking about the holy days. And we started talking about how we have Israelites out there all over the world now, and we celebrate the holy days on different days. And that's just not the way it should be.
It's not that we celebrate them on different days. It's that all the Israelites as a whole don't celebrate them together. I mean, we got some that are celebrating one holy day on a Friday. You got some of them that are celebrating it 2 weeks later. You got some that are celebrating them, or not celebrating them at all. That's your issue. Is it's not that we're doing it on different days. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like they're all over the map.
It's because we as a nation have not come together and decided this is the calendar that we're going to use and made it official. But that's because our nation as a whole is separated into different groups or camps. And each leader of these different groups says, okay, we're going to do it at this time, or okay, we're going to do it at that time. And that's not what the Bible tells us that we should be doing. It tells us that we need to come together as one body when there is an issue, and the elders are supposed to talk about the issue in front of people and bring their evidence or their proof as to why it's this or why it's that. And that's what we're supposed to do about every issue. But we're not. We are each individual group or camp, or sometimes individual or family, is deciding, okay, this is what I think it means, or this is what I think is the way it should be, so I'm going with it. And I think this is part of the reason why we are having so many problems. Satan has his stuff together. Everybody celebrates Christmas on December 25th. Everybody celebrates New Year's on January 1st. Everybody celebrates Halloween on November 30th.
Are you kidding me? October 31st.
October 31st. Whatever. It's been a while since I've celebrated it. But my point is, when they are trying to get their power together to do what it is that their master wants, they get everybody that's a part of it and the whole world to stop what they're doing and add to their rituals or whatever. But we as Israelites, because we can't say we can't come together. We can't say, you know what, I'm a leader, but it's okay if I follow. It's okay if I'm not taking that stand up in front role. I can listen to someone else's stuff. We're not able, our leaders aren't saying that. They're saying that, hey, if you're a part of this group, you listen to what I say, and this is the way it is. And if you're a part of that other group, you don't listen to them because those people are wrong. But they're not coming out, they're not coming together and proving either way who is right and who is wrong. Then it leaves it up to the individual person to decide who they believe. And go ahead.
Well, see, it just reminds me of a story. Our cousin, our cousin is a member of one group.
Right.
And when we were talking about different Hebrew Israelite issues, their response was not "you're wrong," not "I believe this" or "I believe that." It was, "well, I can't talk to you about this because you're not in my group," and that's just ridiculous. We're both Israelites. Why is it if you're and listening or part of Group A, you can't even talk to other Israelites? Where is that at in the Bible?
The Bible says, let us reason together. But we aren't coming together and reasoning together. You have people who are loyal to a person. And then you have these leaders saying, well, if you listen to me and you listen to someone from a different camp or group, then it's because you have itching ears and you're running to and fro. And I tell you, I don't have itching ears. What I have is a desire to have the truth. And so I will listen to the truth that comes from anybody. I will listen to the truth from anywhere because the Most High gave me discernment, and I'm going to use my discernment. And when you have these leaders who will give some um, law that says something, for example, women can't wear pants. Well, I don't see that Bible verse in the Bible. I do see that it says that women should not dress like a man, because that's one of the Bible verses they use all the time. And I agree, a woman should not dress like a man. And I agree that it says that the Levites need to wear breeches before they come into the temple. And I agree, the Bible does say that. But when you take those verses and say, see, this means that women can't wear pants, well, now I disagree. Maybe there's some verses out there that say that pants are for men, and therefore I can't wear them. But until you show me those verses, I'm not just going to go with you. I can't just hang with you because you're giving me some verses that don't really go together and saying, see, I said it, it must be true. If we look in the Bible, there are times when people made up laws so that people wouldn't break laws. And to me, that's kind of what it sounds like. It may be true, therefore you shouldn't do it because it might be true.
See, that's leaning to the right.
But that's wrong.
Yeah, that's correct. You can't add to the law or take away from it. Now, let me make sure I'm clear here. What if you found in the law it said you couldn't wear pants? You're good with that?
If I found in the law I couldn't wear pants, then I would not wear pants.
Now listen, I only brought that up. I only bring that up because I know that there are lots of people that want things their way. They don't want to have to do any work. And that's not what we're advocating. And I want to make sure that's clear. That's not what we're advocating. The issue is, if it's not a law, you don't get to just add laws to cover things. Well, I feel like someone might break this, so we'll just add an extra law. See, I think that's wrong.
Everybody wants things their way. But at the same time, even though I would love everything to be my way, I am willing to submit to our Father. But I'm not willing to submit to just anybody. So I don't feel like it's itching ears to be searching for people who are trying to lead me to the Most High, instead of searching for people who are trying to lead me to their group.
Yeah. Now see, and that's the other part too. I agree. You should be listening to a multiple groups of Israelites, because everybody's, as you get more and more understanding and you personally gain more and more discernment, you'll be able to hear and grab the truth as it's laid out there and push away and let go of the stuff that's just group oriented. This is just about this group, not really about the Most High. And that to me is part of what is going on with discernment. I mean, that's part of our point, is we each pray to get a little more straight, a little more following the Most High correctly. Because since we have lost in the past, our ancestors had lost their way, it's difficult to get back on that straight path and doing what we're supposed to be doing. Especially seeing how we're all rediscovering and relearning literally what the Bible itself says and means. And instead of trying to spread that knowledge to everybody throughout Israel, what these groups tend to do is pick and choose things that make them different than another group and use that as a way to get people to them. I don't understand it exactly, but that's what it seems like. They just keep wanting to break the nation into smaller and smaller pieces so that they can have their power as opposed to everything going to the Most High.
You're right. And, I look at, if you look at Pastor Dow, he teaches that you can have multiple wives. And I have no real issue with multiple wives because the Bible does speak about multiple wives. My issue with him is that there are requirements in the Bible for having multiple wives, and I never really hear him speaking about those requirements. Or and when you read the Bible, it seems to be that everybody that you find that had multiple wives had a lot of heartache and stress because it wasn't about lust. Having multiple wives is not about lust. It is about providing for Israel and doing what the Most High has called you to do. But today, it seems like a lot of this is about lust and me being able to have some sort of command over people. You feel I don't have a lot of power in the world, so I'm going to grab these women and I'm going to tell them what to do.
I didn't make a face. I mean, I didn't make faces. It's just this multiple wife subject for us is just funny to me. I have enough trouble providing for my family, and that's one wife and kids, and I have enough trouble doing that. As I read through the Bible, it says that you have to provide equally for multiple wives. So if you have two, you have to come up with twice as much stuff. That doesn't mean you get to split her stuff up and give it to two people. That's not how that works. Now, I mean, there were some requirements in the Bible where, a brother would die and that person's brother would have to marry the wife so that she wouldn't be alone, for different things. And there were some requirements that way. But it seems like to me, most people are just using these loopholes in the law to just get more wives. And that's completely wrong.
And to grab the Israelites that are having issues with lust, or, well, depending on which group you're listening to, lust or greed, because there's a lot of people out there talking about money, money, money. You can't listen to one of their videos for longer than 5 or 6 minutes before they're talking about money, money, money. And I just don't feel like that is what get us waking up is for, to get our freak on or to get our money on. That's not what this awakening is about. It's not what it's for, and yet it seems to be being misused. Not saying that the leaders of any of these camps are bad people. I don't know their hearts, but I do see that in the midst of everything that's going on, that I feel like they're going astray in order to get members. They, what the Bible says, they have forgotten their first love, which is the Most High. And so, in getting people to become Israelites, they've lost focus of why we're trying to get people to be Israelites. And so, we need to come together as a people. We need to have that get together where everyone who feels like they want to lead and all of the people that they are leading need to sit down and discuss every single difference that there is between the groups in an open forum. They need to discuss it. Each group needs to bring their proof and let the Most High win out at the end. Not Nathaniel, not Raja, not Pastor Dow, not Deborah Yah and her husband, but whoever is correct in whatever they're correct in. Because IUIC might be right in some things that the GOCC is wrong in, and vice versa. We need to quit trying to think of ourselves as part of a group and think of ourselves as one nation under the Most High, going towards Him so that He can lead our way instead of these other people leading our way. People want to get upset if you say that this leader did something wrong or isn't doing something right. Why are you so upset about if someone is bringing out an issue with your leader instead of making sure that your leader is doing right?
See, that's our job as the body. The head may be leading the direction, maybe pointing the ship, but in all reality, all of us are supposed to be reading ourselves, trying to understand, correcting if necessary. That's the point, that we're all getting better together, not individual. And that's the thing. We're not trying to call out and get people to follow us. That's not the point here.
And we're not trying to get you to stop following who you're following. We're trying to get you to talk to your leaders and get them, pressure them to come together and unite Israel.
Yep, into one big gathering. That is the point. If we're all, and this is true, we're all the nation of Israel, all of us. That we're not the camp of IUIC or the camp of the GOCC. We're the nation of Israel, and we're all one big body, and we have to come together and really straighten this out. The question on the table today is, one group, one part of it is celebrating today trumpets, but not everybody is. Another group will be blowing trumpets in a couple of weeks. Think of how we're splitting our power here. Some of our power is happening today. Some of it will be happening in 2 weeks. Some people don't recognize when the correct day is. Somebody could have been blowing trumpets last month. Who knows? But the issue is, if all of our, and I do say this by saying our leaders come together. If those leaders in those camps come together and say, okay, when is this day? Why do we say it is this day? Let us lay this out on the table and let it be examined so that we can all decide the correct day. And then IUIC, GOCC, everybody's teaching the same day. Everybody's putting out the same message, because there is only one way to get to the Most High. There's only one correct way. And that correct way needs to be illuminated and shared everywhere.
Our power comes from the Most High. And sometimes we need all of our nation to get together and fast and pray so that we can accomplish something. But how can we do that today? We can't. Because we don't talk to each other. We don't listen to each other. And that is hurting us. When Christ walked the earth, He said that everything He does is for His Father. So He didn't have the camp of Christ. He had do and follow the Most High. And that's what we need to be doing. We need to be doing and following the Most High. So this is my trumpet. This is my husband's trumpet. we are saying that we have to come together if we plan on making it the rest of the way. Because, as the Bible says, a nation divided will fall. And we are way too divided in order to stand.
That's really all there is to it. I mean, that's it. If the nation of Israel does not come together and solve these small issues, these small problems, there is no way that we're going to make it through the end of the tribulation. That's really all there is to it. We have got to figure out how to work together as a nation.